Yesterday, New York City Mayor Eric Adams met with incoming Trump border czar Tom Homan, and by all accounts, it seems as though the meeting went very well, and the two saw eye to eye regarding the issue of illegal immigrants.
I think that what has been reported is totally distorted from what our face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball conversation. His goal is the same goal I have. We cannot allow dangerous individuals to commit repeated violent acts of violence in our cities across America.
Well, this is in contrast to remarks made by Illinois Democrat Congresswoman Delia Ramirez. She wrote in a tweet to Homan, and incredible, she said, quote, "Tom Homan, the next time you come to Illinois' 3rd Congressional District, you better be ready to meet the resistance. You may think Chicago needs to get out of the way of Trump's plan for mass deportation, but we plan to get all up in your way," end quote. I don't know, that just sounds like open lawlessness on display. Certainly disturbing, to say the least. Well, how might Trump's mass deportation plan play out, considering the reactions that we've already seen? Well, here now to discuss this is Todd Bensman. He's a senior national security fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies. He's also the author of Overrun: How Joe Biden Unleashed the Greatest Border Crisis in U.S. History. Wow. Todd, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
All right. First, remind us, if you will, how many illegal immigrants are estimated to be here in the United States, particularly since the Biden administration began?
We think that there's probably on the order of 10 million that crossed in the last 4 years and are inside the country. In addition to, whatever there were like at a 10 million here before. So altogether, and it's very difficult to really kind of get your hands around that number. But maybe there's 15 million altogether or less, but nobody really knows because a lot come over the border and just get away and disappear, tens of thousands a month. So
who knows? Yeah, the getaways have always been a big, huge question mark for me personally, and I've been to the border over and over and over. Are you at all surprised that Democrat Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, seems to be seeing the light, if we can put it that way, in regard to illegal immigration?
A little bit, yeah, because I've been watching him for 4 years now, and he's always been, where's the money? I need federal money to help clean up this mess, not pressing on the president to shut it down at the border, to turn the spigot off at its origin, which is the border. He's never been concerned about that, and he's certainly never been concerned about deporting people that are showing up in his city, including criminals. So this is I think he just kind of shifts with the wind, and he sensed that the wind has shifted. Lots of people in his blue city have voted for Trump on this issue. Historic numbers have shifted over to Trump on this issue. They're all going to get thrown out of office if they don't play ball on this, especially the criminal alien deportation plan. After all, who in their right mind intervenes in the deportation of criminals if you have a chance to do it? Who does that? Who puts those people with your voters?
Great point. And I think that's good insight to see the shifting winds that, anyone could see this. But in spite of that, we have on the other side of the coin people like Congresswoman Ramirez. And by the way, she's not the only Democratic public official who's promising lawlessness. Unbelievable. But promising lawlessness when it comes to immigration policy enforcement. What do you make of responses like hers?
My first thought is if somebody commits a crime, or somebody commits a crime, or does a riot or something like that. Did she just incite a riot? I don't know. We've seen this playbook before, but I expect that there will be significant opposition to deporting criminals. There are a lot of Democrats that are really committed to the idea of protecting criminals and making sure that they are released to stay inside their communities to continue to victimize their constituents. That one right there is one of them for sure. She likes the idea of criminal aliens in her district, and will do everything she can to protect them.
Well, it sounds like it might be a good place to put them if that's what she wants. There are ways to make her wishes come true. Putting joking aside, is it a political thing only that we're seeing? Are some people just shutting their eyes to the problems that we've seen that have come about over the past 4 years of the Biden's policies on the southern border? Are they just closing their eyes because they don't want to embarrass Biden?
I think that was the campaign strategy, but it obviously failed because all of the post-election autopsies that have been done show that the border crisis and the millions of foreign nationals that have poured into U.S. cities across the country was seen and noticed, and it angered people to vote for Trump, who is promising the solution to it, meaning deportations and detention, really just a return to normal, immigration law. And I think that, the mainstream media, the regular media, really went out of its way to suppress the news in their platforms. But the fact is that there are so many other platforms now, Facebook and TikTok and, all these different platforms out there that just get around those old legacy media organizations and have rendered them sort of obsolete or certainly irrelevant.
Todd, we've got just literally seconds left here, but does the federal government have at its disposal some way to address these city officials who are saying they're going to defy the immigration laws? Is there a way to deal with it? Kind of a yes or no answer.
Yeah, cut the umbilical cord to federal funds. You'll get some cooperation then.
Thank you, Todd Bensman, Senior National Security Fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies. Always great to have you on the program. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. You too.